From the Monster Jam Studios, I'm Scott Jordan with this edition of the Weekly Update. It was a somewhat quiet weekend in Monster Jam with only 5 events, so I'm loaded up with guests this week. You'll hear from series champions Ryan and Weston Anderson, and I will also be joined by Monster Jam Hall of Famer Scott Douglas. But first, let's get to the action on the track. We start on the campus of Syracuse University as Monster Jam returned to the Carrier Dome for the first time since April 6 of 2019. Stadium Championship Series Yellow was in action. In the racing finals, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger powered by Hoonigan, came in riding a 14-race winning streak. 14! He is a video game cheat code. He would meet Tyler Menega in Grave Digger, and it's Anderson with a whole shot out of the berm. Look at the turn, though, by Grave Digger. Gets the front wheel up just enough to miss the turning pod. Son of a digger with a slight lead at the halfway point, and into the final turn they go. It's Ryan Anderson across the chalk line first. But hang on, check out the replay. Look at the right front tire of Son of a Digger. It is not fully on the ramp. That's a 5-second penalty. The streak ends at 14, and Tyler Menega takes the racing win. In the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Tyler getting it done again. Comes off the tabletop with a stoppie, moonwalks it back across, then into a reverse stoppie. Wheelies the truck back across into a nose wheelie on a dime here, and then into another moonwalk. A reverse popper into a tombstone wheelie, and then wheelies it down onto all 4 BKT tires. Now, if you lost track, that's a stoppie, moonwalk, reverse stoppie, wheelie, nose wheelie, stoppie, moonwalk, reverse popper, tombstone wheelie, wheelie combo. And thankfully, that was enough to get Tyler his 10th win, which leads the series, and he would take a perfect event into freestyle. Speaking of freestyle, check out Jurassic Attack. Comes off the tabletop into a nose wheelie. Too much throttle, cannot make the save, and lands right on Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson was strapped in, but thankfully both drivers were fine, and Son of a Digger was good to go for the competition. Son of a Digger on the backside of the tabletop, front end down, finesses the landing, and then gets the popper onto the pod. Nose wheelie across, and then Son of a Digger with the biggest error of the night thus far. Brake check, turns it into a whip, sticks the landing, and here comes the backflip. Nails it, and the smooth transition into reverse keeps the run going. He gets a nose wheelie onto the pod, and Ryan Anderson with the lead. But here comes Bari Musauer, turning Syracuse into Slap Wheelie City. Timed it perfectly to go right to the container, and now it's Backflip City for Backflip Bari. And then the huge air. Now the ribbon boards are red. Time has expired, but he doesn't care. Bari launches zombie hard side slap, and the truck is going over, but he saves it. And Bari gets his 5th freestyle win of the season. He's like the Flash getting unbuckled so fast. So no perfect night for Gravedigger. Tyler Menega would finish 7th in freestyle, which means Ryan Anderson takes his 12th event championship of the year. As we take a look at the series points standings, Anderson has the title, but still a lot on the line as the other 11 drivers look to qualify for World Finals. The Yellow Series now heads to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with one event on Saturday night. Last weekend in Syracuse, I had the chance to chat with Ryan Anderson about being crowned a series champion for the 2nd year in a row and looking ahead to World Finals. Take a look. Ryan, so let's talk about your series championship. You get to go back-to-back. You won last year in Bakugan Dragonoid. You win this year in Son of a Digger. Does this year mean a little more to you because you were in your truck, or do they both kind of parallel as far as your career stats?
It was really cool to win the championship in a different truck, just because it was not my chassis, not my truck. All those things kind of prove a point. Like, yeah, it's not just the truck, it's me. But then the ultimate pride is in my truck, man. This is my baby. This is what I live for. So being able to win it with this truck is just, that's my ultimate stamp of approval. Like, yep, I'm not going nowhere. Son of a Digger is here to stay, and you guys just better remember that.
So winning the series championship means you were going to Orlando to compete at World Finals, but you still have 2 events left. You have here this weekend and then one more event after that. Are you still, involved in what can you do here to win the event championship as well as next weekend? I know you don't lay down for anybody or anything, but is World Finals on your mind enough that it might affect your performance?
I am trying to not let World Finals be on my mind at all. I'm just trying to relax, and now I try not to let the points get on me, but it's we're going to think about it. It's on our minds the whole time. So now the points are off the table for me. I have seized the victory. I'm good. The other guys are still chasing for 2nd, 3rd, 4th place, all that stuff. But for me, it's my way of just going all out. Like, I don't care about anything. I'm here to put on a crazy show, go wild. So all the pressure's off for me.
Your dad's going to be there. We're celebrating 40 years of Gravedigger at World Finals. So, already the teases and kind of the hints have been epic. A lot of fans are buzzing about what we're going to see, but what would it mean to you to to walk out of World Finals as a world champion on the 40th anniversary of your dad's truck?
That would be the ultimate for me, for sure. And like, honestly, the last World Finals we had in Las Vegas was one of the best years because not just because I won a championship, but because Adam also won a championship. So we stole the whole show. Honestly, if Kristen, Weston, Adam got a championship, I'd be just as happy. I obviously want one myself, there's no doubt about it, but if the team gets one, we all get one.
Arena Championship Series Central had last weekend off, but let's get you caught up on the point standings. Gravedigger's Kristen Anderson has the lead, a 36-point lead over Soldier Fortune Black Ops' Tony Oakes, Blake Granger, Elvis Linus, John Zimmer Jr., and Zach Gardner, all in the conversation here. Arena Championship Series Central gets back to the point series this weekend at the First Ontario Centre in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, with 4 events beginning at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Stadium Championship Series Red was at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on Saturday, and the weather was absolutely nasty. More on that later. First in the racing finals, it was El Toro Loco against Lucas Stabilizer. Mark Liss and Cynthia Gauthier are close friends, but friendship doesn't count on the racetrack. Lucas Stabilizer goes too narrow on the turn, hits the pod. That causes Cynthia to go wide, and it's Mark Liss with the lead at the halfway point. Final turn here, Lucas Stabilizer wide again. El Toro Loco nice and tight, and it's Mark Liss getting the racing win. Hey, tell me if you've heard the news. Tom Mintz is really good in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Like really, really good. Here, Max D goes off the ski jump with maximum air into the momentum moonwalk. Keeps the truck at the perfect balance point, hits the throttle, then moonwalks back over the step up, and then a reverse bicycle save. And Tom Mintz with another win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. I mentioned the weather being a factor. There was a severe thunderstorm that would clear the stadium and cause a 33-minute delay in the event, so freestyle runs were shortened to 90 seconds. On this series, 8 different drivers have won a freestyle competition so far this season, and surprisingly, Great Clips Mohawk Warriors Bryce Kenny is not one of them. He looked to change that in Philadelphia. Bryce just launching the truck off the jammer. He would then go to launch off the trench box, stays low, and look at this, the back-to-back flip. What a move, and he is not done. Absolutely sends the truck into chaos mode. The hood flies off. He would park the truck into the stall, and Bryce Kenny gets his first freestyle win of the season in front of his wife and kids, so very well deserved for Bryce. In Monster Jam, you don't need to win them all to get a championship, and on some nights you don't need to win any of them to get a championship. On this night, Blue Thunder's Todd LeDuc would finish 3rd in racing, 2nd in skills, and 2nd in freestyle, and that would be enough to take the overall event championship. Now let's look at the series points with just 2 events left. Tom Mintz with a 21-point lead over Adam Anderson and a 24-point lead over Todd LeDuc. Stadium Championship Series Red roars into Denver, Colorado this weekend with 1 event at Empower Field at Mile High on Saturday night. If you are in Colorado, you do not want to miss this. If Adam Anderson and or Todd LeDuc can't reduce Tom's lead to 10 or less, I'm calling this series. Tickets for Denver are available right now at monsterjam.com. Arena Championship Series East was in Macon, Georgia. Unfortunately, no footage was available for these events, but I can simplify it for you. Gravedigger swept the weekend, winning all 3 championships, which included yet another perfect event on Saturday night for the series champion, Weston Anderson. Let's take a look at the updated series points standings. Weston Anderson has clinched the title. He has a 130-point lead over Armando Castro's El Toro Loco. Cody Saucier, Brianna Mahan round out the top 4 on this series. Now the East Series now roars into the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana for 3 events beginning on Saturday afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome back to the weekly update the newly crowned Arena Championship Series East champion, Gravedigger's Weston Anderson. Weston, first of all, congrats on your series championship. That's very impressive in your rookie season. And second of all, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. You know, I'm just kicking back at the house right now. Me and Kristen are making cupcakes after this interview, having a good time.
So I had your interview, your winning interview, once you clinched the series championship on the weekly update. You had a lot of emotion. You know, you could hear the cracking in your voice when you talked about your dad. So what was Dennis's reaction when you got home as a series champion?
You know, he actually really didn't even know until I got home, and I showed him the video of me being crowned. We were actually in the goat pen outside. I was feeding the goats, and I showed him the video of me being crowned because it hadn't been posted anywhere. And me and him both broke into tears in the goat pen, hugging each other. He told me how much he loved me and how proud he is of me, and it was just a good feeling, you know.
All right, so you win your series, and you know there's always the question is what happens after you win when there's still some events left. and you celebrate by coming out, sweeping the weekend, getting a perfect event in Macon. So absolutely no laying off the gas for you, right?
Oh, no, absolutely not. You know, the next couple weekends are practice because I am still a rookie at that. I need all the practice that I can get because I'm about to get thrown to the big dogs, and I said it in one of my interviews with Freddie. I'm not going to go to World Finals like a Chihuahua. I'm going to come in fighting like a Rottweiler.
I will let you get back to making cupcakes with your sister. Fans, wish Weston a happy birthday on Instagram at Weston Anderson _GD. And you can see Weston and Gravedigger in action this weekend in Evansville, Indiana. Weston, thanks so much for joining me again. Congratulations and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor to be back here.
Arena Championship Series West enjoyed a bye week over the last weekend, so let's get you caught up on the series point standings. Brandon Vincent now just 2 points away from clinching the series championship. The point series resumes this weekend at the Tax Slayer Center in Moline, Illinois, with 2 events, both on Saturday. We're switching gears this week as my guest was the voice of Monster Jam for 25 of its 30 years and is now a member of the Monster Jam Hall of Fame. It is my pleasure to welcome in the legend himself, the GOAT, Scott Douglas. Scott, welcome to the weekly update. Thanks for joining me.
I'm just honored you wanted to ask me on. I'm thrilled to be here.
You've been on hand to call some of the greatest moments in Monster Jam history. Just off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite memories on the track?
Well, you know, I think so many of these, there have been so many amazing moments and spectacular and viral things that we've seen. World Finals 11 is what I believe it was in 2010. The only time that Tom Menson, Max D, and Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger were in the championship race at Monster Jam World Finals. It was the most electric moment ever. And it was one of those, and Scott, you appreciate this as a host when you've been at live events, a little different on television. But I almost wanted not to say anything. I needed to introduce them, but the idea was the moment was its own and sure didn't need my mouth over top of it. That one stands out.
Jumping forward to this year, the 30th anniversary of Monster Jam, and what are your thoughts on the current season? Is there anything that has stuck out to you that you've enjoyed watching since we started back in January?
I've been trying to think, and I could probably go back and do a little more research, but just off the top of my head, I believe we're witnessing the greatest rookie season in the history of the sport, and what Weston Anderson is doing in Gravedigger to come in, pick up how to run for points. Yeah, we knew he was going to be spectacular, but to be able to go head-to-head with a champion like Armando Castro, with somebody as great as Cody Saucier and Brianna Mahan, and that whole tour has been so competitive. And once he got a month into it, he just started dominating. He's earned his berth to Monster Jam World Finals. And if he's that great now, where's he going to be in 5 or 10 years? So that certainly stands out to me as one. And then I think the flip side is I'm watching the closest race that's out there, and I'm not picking favorites here. But everybody talks about the amazing new talent, as we should. But there's old Tom Metz just sitting there plugging along with the points lead and the chance to win what is one of the most competitive series out there. Now, those are the couple of things that really jump out to me. The new with Weston and the old guard with Tom.
Let's talk about the other side of your career with Monster Jam. You've had a hand in the casting and development of many hosts in the sport, including me. Would you feel that besides your work on camera, that has become a huge part of your legacy? When
they started sending hosts to me 20 years ago to just, all right, this guy's going to train. He's brand new. He's a kid. And I had no tolerance for that. I'll tell you the truth. I would just tell him, go over there and sit there and watch. I didn't want him on the mic. I didn't want him messing with my show, is the way I looked at it back then. Well, you mature and you understand it's not my show. It's the show that these people, or the event these people come to see. And we're all just a small part of it. And the stars are the trucks and the drivers behind the wheel. Now, what I've been able to do is literally have my little impact and influence on every Monster Jam event, because literally I've trained and been involved with every host that's out there now. Scott, when you and Colt are rocking it on television and you're going out to Leslie and she's killing it, that's a delight to me because of whatever little part I've had in each of your careers to be here. You can hear some of the stars of Monster Jam past and present on Conversations with Scott Douglas, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Twitch. Scott, thanks so much for joining me this week. True pleasure. I look forward to seeing you at Monster Jam World Finals and all the fans, my friend. Thanks for having me on. Let's take a look at this week's power rankings. No change in the top 5 at all this week as Ryan Anderson, Tyler Menninga, Brandon Vincent, Tom Metz, and Camden Murphy all remain comfortable in their positions. The biggest riser this week is Blue Thunder's Tyler Duke. Coming off the event championship in Philly, he is up 2 spots to number 6.
All Weston Anderson did was sweep the events in Macon, and he drops this week, down 1 to number 7. Adam Anderson drops as well to number 8, and Tristan England and Corey Rummel round out the top 10. For the complete list, head on over to monsterjam.com. 2 tickets to World Finals have already been punched, with more certainly on the way, but you can punch your tickets to Orlando right now by going to monsterjam.com. May 21st and 22nd, make sure you are at Camping World Stadium for the biggest event of the year as we celebrate 30 years of Monster Jam and 40 years of Gravedigger. The biggest stars will be on hand as 4 world champions will be crowned, and I want to see you there, so don't miss out. Get your tickets and come join us at Monster Jam World Finals 21. The next episode of Monster Jam on CNBC airs on Saturday, April 23rd at noon Eastern. It's round 7 from Houston. You can also catch us Saturday, April 30th with round 8 from Tampa, and that's also at noon on CNBC. For the entire television schedule, you can go to monsterjam.com/TV and join us on the road to World Finals with 26 rounds of coverage on NBC Sports. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and don't forget to give us a like on Facebook, where you can watch premieres of our new show, Arena in 25. Use the hashtag MonsterJam on all of your posts, and we might just get you up on the video board at your Monster Jam live event. MonsterJam.com is always your one-stop shop for everything related to the sport, such as tickets, merchandise, results, and of course all 16 episodes of the weekly update. This weekend, the broadcast team heads to MetLife Stadium for our final round with Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Now, you asked on Instagram, and you shall receive. So next Thursday, I will be joined by Megalodon's Bernard Light. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you right here next time on the Weekly Update.